Aloha, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Super excited to have you here in Multifamily Live podcast. We are going to talk about routines today. So I am a very, flow into the day type of person, kind of fly by the seat of my pants, or at least I was about a decade ago. As soon as I got into an entrepreneurial spirit, into my own businesses, I needed routines. It took me a few years to realize this, but with learning, with books, with surrounding myself with amazing people, I realized how I needed to structure my day. And that's what I needed. I needed structure. So how do I start with this? Let's start off with our morning routine. Jason and I have a morning routine we do every single day. If I don't get this routine done, I feel like I haven't completed something in my day. And there have been times when my kids will poke me awake. I'm going to be fully transparent. It has happened. I am a full-time entrepreneur and mom of 3. So sometimes I wake up and my kids are poking me in the face and I jump into life with them. But that doesn't mean because I have my day structured out, I can go back. It doesn't mean I just skip it. So most mornings though, I wake up early enough. I wake up before my kids and I make sure I get a few things done. Number 1, I drink a full glass of water. One of those beer pints. Yes, one of those beer pints of water, nothing else, just water. Next comes coffee. And I sit down with my coffee, I read, and I'm going, again, full transparency, that phone does get picked up and I usually scroll through everything just to kind of set up, make sure I didn't miss anything over the evening. I scroll that really quickly. I give myself 5 minutes tops though, and it goes back down. Read my book, get centered, I meditate. Either I use a led meditation or I just sit in silence. I sit in silence with my thoughts. And I sit in silence in my brain and I just let it go and I fill myself up in this way. And then I focus in on my body. I exercise. And sometimes this exercise is 15 minutes, sometimes it's an hour. It really depends. It depends on the time I'm given. I have really busy mornings. If the kids wake up, and the reason why I'm telling you this, and I'm not saying you have to do an hour, you have to do a half an hour. We all have lives. Our kids will come in, and I'm not just going to ignore them for an entire hour because they're awake. They want mommy's presence. They want our presence, mine and Jason's presence in their lives. But we know that we need to go back and get it done at a later time. So that's why I want to jump into time blocking. So this time block, I actually have it in my schedule. It's called Aloha time. It's the time that I aloha myself, I give myself love, and I fill my cup with everything I need for the day. So once that aloha time's done, I jump into kid time. After kid time's done, and this is breakfast, this is maybe a little bit of playtime, maybe a little bit of learning time with them. Just face-to-face time where the phone gets put down. I'm concentrating on them, getting them ready for school, getting them ready for their day. And that includes mindset. Even though it's not us always sitting down to meditate, it's us giving them our values, to look into the future, to dream up what their day is going to look like. Having that time with them and making this routine with the kids to let them know before they go off to school that they're having mommy and daddy time, FaceTime, if you will, that is uninterrupted by my phone, by the computer, by phone calls, by other things within the world, just so that they know that they are important, that they come first before all of this other stuff. So all of that's time blocked. And what comes after that is my one thing time. So this is really, really important, everybody, because this gives you your success for the day. You pick that one thing every day that if you get this one thing done, the rest of the day just follows suit. Everything else is gravy if you get this one thing done. And this one thing could be almost the same thing every day. It could be something different every day, but this is something that you choose that you will complete in this day. And it can be a big thing, it can be a small thing. It can be as like, and actually I'm not going to give a size to it, but there are days And I get this. There are days where your biggest accomplishment is sometimes getting out of bed. I know some of us are in this track of mind that it's difficult. But I'm telling you, make that a success. If you need to make that a success, then you do that. If you make your one thing to call 20 people, great. That's your one thing. Whatever it is yours. You choose it. And it gives you, once you have that sense of completion in your day, I don't think we celebrate our successes enough each day. So giving yourself that momentary pat on the back, that lift your hands up, I got this done, it's important. So once that's done, then the rest of the task list can come after that. Social media, everything else that needs to encompass my day comes after that. But like I said, everything is structured out in my day. So I got these thought processes from a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. He talks about the one thing and he talks about time blocking. So the one thing is very important in my life because I run my life around this one thing. Second most important thing is time blocking. We already started structuring that out, talking about that. But what's the most important thing about time blocking? Is time blocking time for yourself first. He even mentions it in the book. I didn't make that up. You block out your vacation times, your family times, your times for you, your massage times, anything that fills your cup first, you block that out. And that's really important for Jason and I, because this is our big why. Our why is our family. And we don't want to lose track of that. So when we look at our calendar, we start with us first. Everything else gets placed around it. Everything else uplifts this big why, which is spending more time with ourselves and our family. So why wouldn't we set that up first? So what is your big why? Start from that. That's how you time block your time. Fill your cup first so you can overflow into others. It's not the other way around. So time block all that, and then time block your work time. If you have a 9-to-5 job, that certainly goes in there. If you're an entrepreneur, make sure you're time blocking all the times you need. So for instance, I need to check into social media at certain times. And one of the times is late at night or later at night, between 9 and 11 if I'm still up. But usually between 9 and 10, I go in and I check and I engage and I respond, and then I put my phone away. Because that's just needed, that needs to happen. Or some of us will be scrolling all night long because we can't sleep. And the reason why we can't sleep is because we can't get our eyes off of our phone. It's really important to have these things structured, have these routines. For instance, if you take it from an underwriting standpoint, spreadsheets. If underwriting is very, very structured, at least our underwriting is, you have the places where the numbers go, you have the formulas, it all works together, and it gives you, after placing in all the numbers and all the information, it gives you a full look of what the property can do, and then you can restructure it from there. But it gives you a base point. This is how your life should be. It gives you a base point to grow from. I'm not saying live in this box. I'm actually saying know what your box looks like so you can think outside of it. So you know where your base point is, and that's structured. And then you can go look at the rainbows and the stars and the excitement and the fireworks of life. But you have your feet firmly planted in a good and great and solid foundation. This is what structure gives you. This is what routines give you, is a solid foundation to fall back on if the fireworks blow up in your face, if the stars don't come out at night. If the goal that you have been reaching for doesn't happen, you go back to your routine and you can see, because you have everything structured, where the structure needs to be fixed. If you need to bring more people into your environment, if you need to bring somebody that does something better, that way you know what you need to do next. That way you have something to grow from, not just flying around in the cosmos looking at the stars. So think about your routine. And if you have structure or if you don't have structure, look at and read The One Thing by Gary Keller. I promise you that book will change your life. And if you have any questions, please comment below wherever you're watching this, reading this, wherever you're getting this podcast. Comment on this podcast. We'll get back to you. And if you actually, you know what? If you have even more questions, June 2nd to the 4th, we're having a huge conference here in Nashville. It is the Multifamily Live Conference. I would be honored if you would attend. Please hit any of the links below. It'll take you to our conference page. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have all this mindset. We're going to have everything about multifamily that you could ever dream up. And it'll give you some structure to fall back on in your journey, in your real estate journey. So allow us to become a part of your life if you need us. Okay? So much aloha, so much love, so much peace in your day. Have an amazing and well-structured day. Aloha.